Sure.
Is that a lot?
High end of the spectrum there was if still under $10.
What would that, like, if you adjust it for inflation, what would $5.50 to $8.50 be?
$49.50.
$15 to $4.99.50. No idea.
What year was it?
1969. They were.
1969.
We're also mentioning the Doors were charging $6.50 a ticket, and Blind Faith were charging $7.50 a ticket. And that was when the Rolling Stones were playing 2 shows at the Forum in L.A. Tickets were $8.50. So they're a skosh more steep for this new tour, but we'll have a lot of Stones tickets for you to win.
All right. So, what was it $5.50?
Yeah.
In 19, I think it would be. Calculating.
I was gonna say 49.
$38.51.
Oh, so
you
they
go.
jacked it up.
Yeah.
So that does sound like kind of expensive.
$40 for a ticket to go see a band that big, I think, is not expensive.
No, it's not. But it's. I mean,
Those are for the nosebleed seats too.
Yeah, but when they raised the price, because before that tour,
I'm
it was
pretty
probably
sure-
like $20.
I'm pretty sure the My Chemical Romance tickets are more expensive than that.
$499.
I'm not even kidding. I was looking.
I'd be surprised.
I was going to, because when we talked about it the other day, I was like, I definitely want to go see them. Let me see what they are in Detroit.
I mean, if people are already selling them after they sell out the tour, and people sell them on third-party sites.
Well, yeah, that's the only way I can see the prices because everything else, like you can't go to Ticketmaster because there's none there.
That's what I mean. But when they were on sale, they weren't going to sell them for $500.
Nosebleeds, nosebleeds, absolute upper row in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena, $297 a piece.
Is everybody buying that?
I'm just saying that's what the absolute cheapest tickets are. You start to get closer. Oh boy.
You sure?
$425.
You figure any tour where the entire thing is sold out, like you don't have the option of just flying to another city to see them. The whole tour is sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, you can set your price whatever you want.
Right.
And then those My Chem fans are going to come out and they
the
are
thing.
going to beg mom and dad for $425 so they can go see them.
Should have got some of those tickets to scalp them. That'd been smart.
Now, for all the people that are blowing me up on the text, asking me to murder Poundcake because he thought Mick Jagger fronted AC/DC, you have to consider the source.
No, murder me.
It's not his fault.
It's easier just to murder me.
It's not his fault. He's not here to be a rock and roll historian, right? It's not incumbent upon him. He's 27 years old. Should he know that Mick Jagger is the front man for the Rolling Stones?
Probably.
Hey!
But that's just, it's
The
just
hell do I
pop
know what you
culture.
should know?
Pop
What?
culture.
But it's not the culture that he's immersed in either. He's not paying attention to
And
that
he's
stuff.
a young man.
He's 27. I mean,
Yeah, but
not-
My
It's not
sister
18.
turns 27 this year, and I was like, dude, you're like a woman now.
the Foxy one?
The younger one.
Oh.
They're both, yes, the older one is, she's pregnant. Did you see that?
How would I have seen that your sister was pregnant?
I don't know, maybe you follow her
Which
on
sister?
Instagram. The Foxy one.
Boy, they like getting knocked up, don't they?
They love having kids. That's their favorite thing.
It's almost as though Mary Santora, and I mean professional aspirations aside, it's almost like Mary Santora is missing a maternal gene that your sisters have in abundance.
They just love having
Right?
babies, man.
Or are they just like, I ain't going anywhere, just keep putting them in here?
Well, she got married, so her and her husband are having one.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
My
is the
younger
older one or
sister-
the younger one?
Older one pregnant, younger sister got a tubes tied, so opposite.
Okay. And you,
No babies.
right.
Pill
You're the-
every day since I was 16 to make sure of that.
Yeah. Now, why didn't they go down that road?
They want to have kids.
Yeah, they want kids?
You never thought about leaving a legacy?
No, I can leave a comedy special as a legacy. I don't need to make a kid for that.
And you know that you're not
How many
supposed to
of those
have.
have you put out?
You know you're not
None,
supposed to have.
just like my babies.
You're not even supposed to have children just for a legacy, right?
Well, I mean,
And I have no control over if that kid turns out to be a murderer or not.
That's right.
That's not the legacy I
You
want.
don't want that to be your legacy is supposed to be something you accomplish. Leaving it in is not an accomplishment because anyone can do
I'm
that.
saying you got to leave. You don't want an heir to like
To what?
my
basement apartment?
If you do get
My
famous,
Kia?
if you do make it, you can like leave your kid.
I
you
would
know,
leave
your-
all that stuff to my nieces and nephews. I'm
but
just,
still
I'm
not
like,
your kid.
I'm
It's a kid.
so fulfilled if I could like put those kids through college and then my family doesn't have to worry about that burden. Like that's the kind of stuff. That way, I'm helping the kids. I'm helping my siblings. Like that's the kind of stuff that I like. To
Now
think
again,
about.
let me reiterate, you do know my feelings on the subject.
We know
And what is that?
that you think I'm gonna have a kid one day.
That is correct. But what do I know?
Nothing.
If John
Exactly.
Mayer said he wanted to put one in you would say no to John Mayer.
I don't want a kid.
But he's like, listen, you don't have to worry about a thing. Like, I can pay for a nanny. I have all the money in the world. The kid will be well taken care of, and you get child support.
I have all the money in the world. I can pay for a nanny. How about that?
I'm just
So
saying.
you'll like be a surrogate for John Mayer,
No,
essentially.
not be a surrogate. You have to raise that kid, but like, I mean, the kid has to live with you, but you can have a nanny. You have all the amenities to.
And John Mayer's my husband, but he doesn't think I'm funny.
No,
Is
he's
this all
not.
tying
No,
together?
no. He's not your husband. He just knocked you up. He said he wants to put one in you, and you have to have his child and live in his. Like he might buy you a house and a car or something. He'll sex you up nice, so his kid is raised, nicely. But you can do
don't know.
minimum effort. Like you can have a nanny, you can have a chef.
I don't know if anybody's referred to being pregnant as minimum effort, but
And by the way, why
After
would
you
you
have
want
the
it?
kid.
Why would you want to have a kid just to get all that stuff?
You're having John Mayer's baby. I would want to have a baby to see what it looked like. I want to have a kid for vanity reasons.
well,
I
then
don't want to raise it.
then take 2 of your photos and put them in one of those apps that
Those
mix your
generators.
faces.
No,
yeah.
I want to see what cry it has or what laugh it has, like what traits of mine it gets.
he doesn't want to raise it though.
No, I just want it for vanity purposes. I want to wait till it gets like maybe 5.
I've said
and then I
this
see-
before.
Vanity purposes.
I don't want to have a kid because I know I'm going to be a really, really good mom. And I don't want
gonna
to
sacrifice-
sacrifice my career for that where I'm at right now. I would be a very hands-on in the moment, like there all the time, good mom. And I don't want that for me.
Yeah, I don't want a little bastard either. I know, and I feel like
What's the vanity part?
I want to see what it will look like.
He
I
wants
want
it to look
see
like him.
Whose
He wants
eyes
it
it
to-
has.
he wants it to
could
be
be
like a doll.
It could be butt ugly.
He wants a.
That's what I'm saying.
Build-A-Bear.
That's why I want to see what it looks like, and if I don't like it, I'll give it back.
You can't.
To whom?
The state. I don't know.
The state.
He's going to go take the baby to a church and be like, I heard we can give these here. We just drop them
Hey,
off in a
is
bread
This
basket.
is a safe harbor area, right?
Yeah, they got the baby boxes now at different
Churches.
churches and different like firehouses.
I'll
too.
give it to a
Those
gay.
have always been there.
Give it to a gay couple, a lesbian couple, someone who can't conceive. I'm like, here, have this ugly ass baby. Here, take it, and that'll be the end of it. But yeah, that's what I want. I want to see. But plus, I feel like if I have a child, I'm gonna get my incoming karma. I know how much of a terrible child I was. I feel like if the kid's anything like me, which it probably will be.
You could probably still get it.
Yeah, it just won't be manifested in a child.
Yeah, but then I'd be like, okay, I deserve this. But a child, I'm like, oh, he doesn't even know what he does. He doesn't even understand how much of a selfish a-hole he's being. And now I have to deal with it. Now I gotta, come to work or come to your school with rollers in my hair, talk about what did Johnny do, and
You're going to have,
spank him.
in this scenario, you've got rollers in your hair?
I feel like I'm taking the part of my mom. She would come to my school in a
Oh,
muumuu.
so you're just projecting the scenarios that your mother, I see.
Yeah, she would come to my school in a muumuu and rollers in her hair, and she's like, "All right, well, y'all gonna stop bullying my son," essentially.
That certainly wouldn't lead to more bullying.
All right,
Exactly.
I changed my mind.
Take him out of the gene pool.
Yeah, I think so. And yet he lives. He lives. Alan, I'm not a huge Stones fan. Will you be giving away Incubus tickets? Yes. All next week, I'll have Incubus tickets for you. Maybe you don't give a fat frog's ass about the Rolling Stones. I can respect that. I'll have Incubus tickets for you next week. And Highly Suspect next week, too. I mentioned Kirk Douglas before. He died at 103. There is a gentleman, however, who is 107 and is still driving. They said he is the oldest driver in the United States.
That's terrifying.
This is Joe Newman of Sarasota, Florida. And he drives a bright red convertible. And he said he's been driving for 90 years. And he's still doing just fine down there in Sarasota.
Years old, and yep, he's one of the oldest drivers in America. Joe is a careful driver,
Don't worry, we're at a 45-mile limit.
still fast enough to feel the wind in his hair. He mostly tools around running errands in his Sarasota, Florida neighborhood. And yes, he pumps his own gas and checks the oil. He pays extra.
Dude, I hope I'm that spry.
Dude,
you were
he's moving
107.
around, talking. He's got hair.
107.
He's still got hair.
Isn't the human body amazing?
Unbelievable.
You have
Sometimes.
but I mean, on the one
Sometimes
hand,
it's a real piece of crap.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you'll have these women who are 108 and they're just in a chair. They're like, I like Dr. Pepper, and the family comes in. Hi, how are you? They barely know what's going on. And this guy, he's driving around
That's
in
unbelievable.
Florida
ask
in a
him?
Benz convertible.
Do they ask him the question? How do you stay so young?
We're gonna find out.
I hope so.
Strict attention to road.
Although I will give you a little teaser here. He has a fiance.
What if
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like Viagra and cigars?
Yeah, that's how I do it. I have yogurt in the morning, I have chamomile tea at night, and boner pills all day.
signs and always remembers to signal. He says owning a red convertible was always on his bucket list.
Well, the secret to being 107.
I remember when they invented buckets, and I was like, someday I'm going to make a list and put it in there. And one of the things on that list is I want to own a red convertible.
When I was a young man, cars hadn't even been invented yet, and so a bucket list was the different kinds of buckets you wanted to collect. I had a wicker one that didn't hold liquids very well. I had a metal pail. I had my jeans from when I was a prospector. And then
I don't much like the plastic buckets. I melted one once. I don't prefer a plastic one. They're not durable enough for me.
I like the giant barrels. I put my first wife in that, and she was never discovered.
They keep breathing.
Ladies, Joe is taken.
Oh, yes, we're engaged.
His fiance
Shocker! Twist!
She likes it.
Didn't see that one coming. M. Night Shyamalan!
How old is she?
Anita turns
Hold on.
100 next month.
Anita
Jeez.
turns
What are you guys
100.
waiting for?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a
just
spring
like-
wedding?
I'm just not really sure. We want to wait.
That's right. We are engaged.
And these two still have plenty of pep.
Oh, show off.
Joe recently renewed his driver's license, which expires in 2022.
Yes, he is a good driver.
Of course I'm a good driver.
I'm a man.
Silly question.
Of course I'm a good driver. I'm a man. I'm not one of them women that's out there trying to drive cars around like they think they can do jobs like us and vote like us.
These women don't even want to buy their own buckets for their bucket list. She's always borrowing mine. So there's no ceiling for an age to get your license. As long as you can
pass
still
the
do
eye
the
test,
test.
If
yeah.
you can pass it, you can do it.
All right.
Okay, let's go for a spin.
I like his cardigan.
Anita has her reservations about driving with him.
I closed my eyes most of the time.
Check out her cool shades.
Hey, so do I. We've never gotten in a crash yet.
Well, they're not closed. I just have very bad glaucoma.
We both agree that it'd be better if she sleeps while I drive.
Joe's secret for living to the ripe old age of 107.
Here it comes!
Stay active and don't let life pass you by.
Stay active. Are you writing this down, Bill?
Yes.
Stay active.
Stay active. All right.
ACTIVE.
Got it.
And don't let life pass you by.
All right.
Unfortunately, he's driving about 22 miles per hour, so
Hey.
everything is passing him by.
But not
kids
life.
kids
Not
on
life.
bikes. Well, other people living their lives are
Because
passing
he's-
him by. He's barely beating this guy on the hover round.
Even if you have to stay in the slow lane.
107.
And
That's insane.
he's got his own teeth.
Good for him.
I like
He's
Joe.
driving a red Benz convertible. Look at
That's
that. I wonder
awesome.
what this guy does. 107.
Nothing anymore.
Yeah. Wonder what he did.
Wonder what he did.
You said he invented the bucket. I mean,
I
this
didn't
is
say he invented it. I said he was
He's Kirby
alive
Bucket's
before
dad.
there were buckets.
When I invented the Newman Bucket Company, nobody wanted my bucket. They said, we'll use peach barrels. Those things called what
When,
they
when people
pass-
were 100 years old and they were born in the 1800s, it seems more impressive than being born
in 1920.
Yeah, like someone born in 1880 or like 1899 seems way more impressive than, because if you made it to 2000 and you lived in 3 different centuries, that's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
Insane.
Or if you were somebody who reached, like if you were born in the mid-1800s and you got to be 100, so like you die in the early 70s or whatever. But still, you're talking to people who are like, I remember the Civil War.
Right.
You're like,
yeah.
holy crap.
You're right.
Wow.
So this guy was born in 1903.
Yeah.
No.
No.
1913.
1913.
I was gonna say
Hey, you're the math lady.
I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
1913.
Because that's the year my grandmother was born, so she would have been this guy's
Is that
age.
World War One?
Later.
A little bit later, yeah.
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 My grandmother.
1917. The new episode of Flicks and Bill is about the movie 1917. You can check it out now on the iHeartRadio app.
Boy, talk about seamless. That was seamless. There was no bottom to that. There was no seam. It was like a bucket. It was like a Joe Newman bucket.
Joe Newman Buckets. Bill Wills here for Joe Newman Buckets.
Friends, you want to be 107 and drive a red Benz convertible? Newman Buckets. Available in a variety of colors.
And textures.
So, yeah, his secret for living so long. Read it back to me, Bill. Stay active.
Stay active and
Yeah.
don't let life pass
you by. He also adds, keep breathing. That is a great tip for life. Keep breathing. That's
Make sure
right.
your heart is beating.
Every morning I wake up, I breathe. So his driver's license will most likely outlive him.
Yeah.
I certainly hope
2022.
that I certainly hope that I don't read tomorrow that he has died. Joe Newman.
Oh, and then they have to call off the wedding.
Here's what I want, though, and only because he's not going very fast. I hope he dies behind the wheel. Because he'll die doing what he loves. He doesn't go fast. He's zipping around phase 2 of Del Boca Vista over here with his girl riding shotgun.
What's her name again?
Violet.
I don't know. Nan?
No, it wasn't Nan.
It was Violet.
No, it wasn't Violet.
Let me...
I would love to go to their wedding.
Are you sure it wasn't Nan? She looks like a Nan.
It was not Nan.
Isn't there always a Nan in these?
Well, the secret to being 107 is simply keep breathing.
Keep breathing.
100 next month.
Oh, yes, we're engaged.
His fiancee Anita turns
Anita.
100 next month.
Violet.
I need a new
Violet.
fiance. He died.
What if their wedding was like super lit? Like they just have a bunch of grandkids running around, and then they probably would go to bed.
Well,
before
they
the
don't have
reception.
kids. They're engaged. Like
No, I'm saying they probably
he's
already
probably
have
outlived
kids.
3 wives. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Not with each other.
They probably
yeah.
have kids, and their kids probably have kids, and their grandkids probably have kids. So it's just going to be a
Yeah,
bunch
they're
of
probably
young
like
people.
great.
They're like, you guys have fun at the reception. We're going to go get down.
Yeah. I'm going to go take your grandmother for a spin.
We're going to consummate our marriage.
Oh,
They got to wheel them up to their honeymoon suite, and they die in the bathtub together.
Oh, it was a beautiful night. We consummated the marriage slowly, more slowly than I drive.
It's so funny.
Ooh, it sounded like somebody was backing over a barrel full of pretzels.
Our wedding night was as dry as it was. Of course.
the drought of 1923.
Oh, it reminded me that's why we have pet names for each other. I call her Mojave, and she called me her little Sahara. Joe Newman of Sarasota, Florida. There you go. I don't know if he's a Florida native, but he's 107. Okay, so at what age do you even stop that nonsense by saying years young? Because when somebody's 80 or 90, they go, he's 95 years young. When you're 107, there is zero young about
I
you.
am old.
When do you stop that?
100.
I think you
90?
stop it. No, you just don't do it in the first place. But yeah, when you hit
Agreed, but-
100,
yeah.
100. That's
I'm
how you say it. I'm
100
100
years
years old.
I'm 100!
Yeah, I remember 100 years ago when I was a small boy. I went sledding on the top of a trash can.
Think back to okay, you're 27.
Yeah.
Think back to 7 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
I was in college, but
7 years ago, this guy was 100.
that's what I'm
Can
saying.
anybody else think of something that happened 7 years ago? Anybody?
7 years ago, I was 23.
Bill Squire joining the Alan Cox Show.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah, I was 23. I had been doing comedy about a year.
Oh, good for you.
But that seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Congrats, Bill. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
I was say, I
I've
didn't
got
know.
a break.
I wasn't even there.
Hey, 35192, you want to send me a text? I will have those ministry tickets for you. They're on the road with KMFDM and Frontline Assembly. It's going to be a good show. They'll do the Agora in July. AlanCoxShow.com. Want to hit us up there. Look for the Stones tickets in the contest tab. You can also use the keyword Polar Blast to get all the details about joining us tomorrow night.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio